Hi there, my name is Steve Schwartz, and I'm the founder of the LSAT blog. I've been coaching the LSAT for over 10 years now, and in case you weren't able to guess it from my last name, which is Schwartz, I'm Jewish. And growing up Jewish, I was sent, like many young Reform Jewish kids, to Hebrew school after regular public school, where I was forced to memorize lots of prayers and learn about all the Jewish holidays, and I didn't like it very much. I didn't really see the point. But had I continued on to go to Yeshiva, which is a Jewish school that some more religious kids are sent to, then I would have learned that at Yeshiva, there's this tradition of Jewish debate where historically great minds have debated classic topics throughout time, like topics related to Leviticus, all the various laws contained within that text. And I wanted to share with you today one of those issues, one of those common debates that could be said to apply fairly closely to the LSAT. And that relates to the law of kashrut, which is the idea that you should separate milk and meat. The quote goes something like the idea that you should not boil a kid in its mother's milk. And so we have this idea, the separation of milk and meat. And if you were to follow that law quite literally, you would see that, okay, well, I shouldn't have a cheeseburger because the milk comes from the cow, which you would then be eating as part of the burger. You shouldn't have those things together. But then we have the question, what about chicken and milk? Because chickens don't give milk, of course. They're fowl, they're birds. So we have this idea, this paradox. You have the law, no milk and meat together, because you don't want to boil a kid in its mother's milk. But then this law is applied to totally other, completely different areas, like chicken and dairy, chicken and cow's milk together, which there shouldn't be a problem with according to the text of the law. So on the LSAT, of course, we also have paradoxes. We also have situations that at first glance don't make sense. But there's always a way to resolve or reconcile these seemingly contradictory facts or set of circumstances. So in Judaism, with the case of kashrut, with the case of kosher dietary restrictions, we have a general principle that, if valid, could be applied to that specific situation to help resolve and reconcile what would otherwise be a confusing situation. So, if we were to learn this new general principle as valid, if we were given it as a valid principle, the idea that you don't want to have chicken and milk together because you want to avoid the potential for confusion on the part of other people about whether you are obeying the law or not, that would then help to explain the particulars of this situation. I know that was kind of long-winded, so I'll rephrase it. To resolve a paradox, we want to propose a new piece of information that, if true, addresses the situation. If we learned a new principle were valid, that we have the goal to avoid confusion as to whether we are obeying the kosher laws or not, then the idea of not mixing chicken and milk together would then help to explain why people don't want to mix milk and chicken together, even though doing so would not violate the general text of the law as it was written. So I know it's a somewhat arbitrary or obtuse example. I'd go over and rewatch this video a few times if it didn't click for you. But the idea is that the style of debate practiced in the Jewish yeshiva, these very complex legal discussions they have about seemingly unimportant topics, actually does a lot to prepare you for the LSAT itself. So if any of you out there watching this are going to yeshiva or thinking about it, it may not be practical for the practice of law itself, but some of the styles of debate that are used there actually carry over to the LSAT logical reasoning analysis that you're doing on the LSAT and in law school as well. So I just thought this was an interesting parallel I wanted to share with you. If you have any questions or comments related to this, I would love to hear them. Please feel free to reach out, leave a comment, email me, and I'll be happy to check out what you say and discuss it further. All the best to you as you prepare for the LSAT. Take care.